These are people I have interacted with, reacting to my news and interpreting it. This is the high quality analysis that you can find, and there's a mix of I guess status amongst these fine fellows. But you've got Eric Hunley up here. This is his laid back law show. Eric's always been a good dude. I have nothing bad to say about him. But he kind of runs a show where he brings a bunch of lawyers on Fridays, and they discuss various legal issues. You've got Kurt here, Nate the lawyer, MLS. You've got Joe down in the bottom left. You've got You've got a porg raping a blueberry down in the bottom center. I cannot get over how Sean looks in this picture. I just cannot. Like, what is happening? This is a whitehead on a blueberry. Oh my goodness. Squeeze the suspenders a little bit and they'll pop. I actually don't know if those are suspenders or if that's two seatbelts, because he takes up the entire car. Jesus Christ. And he's coming back tomorrow. So, I mean, when I saw, I can't look at it. Ah, I cannot. I can't look at the fucking picture. When he moves his head, I'm seriously, the first thing I thought was like, it's like a porg in a nest. It's like, and it's good. Over the course of the past year, Sean has kind of gotten a little tired of my my endless railing against his fatness. He says it's one dimensional. It's not my fault though, because he's hogging all the other dimensions. Oh my God. Like, I submit his shoulders are well, no, actually I don't know where they are. They're non-existent. He looks like he's wearing one of those sumo suits. Oh my God. Like, I was not expecting this at all. When I turn on this video, holy fuck. And when he starts moving his head around, it doesn't look real. All right. And then the other guy is Pisco. Pisco is this weirdo lawyer. I think he's a lawyer now. He was a law student when he was first started going on Destiny's show. I've debated Pisco. He's a good spirited guy who's nice. I don't have anything bad to say about Pisco, except I just think most of his opinions are garbage. But I, like, he is who he is. But I don't really know him or anything. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Like I said, I disagree with his positions. I disagree with his legal analysis. In the past, I haven't watched him or heard from him in a long time. My debate with him was fun. I think it was on abortion or something. But yeah. So, and here we go. So here, this is a little clip.
All right, to shift to another topic. I saw in the chat, everybody's commented. I can't ignore it. Yes, Nick Rekieta was sentenced to 30 days in jail. I think 5 years probation.
Wow, aggressive.
Yeah, that's been tough.
Wow, they went through the wall. Damn.
It is.
So, again, there are two reactions on here that, like, again, okay. All right. That's good. Everybody else's reactions are rather acceptable to me. I mean, I not that I'm the arbiter of a reaction or not, but two of those were, it's like, come on. No class. Also, they're wrong, which makes it funnier.
It is what it is. I wish him nothing the best. If he is not currently sober, maybe when he spends the time, it'll help him.
Now, okay, to be very clear, guys, I have been sober because I had to since early June There was a brief period of time. I guess it's not that brief. November to April 18th of 2025, in which technically I was under no restrictions and no testing. And so I was able to partake in an alcoholic beverage from time to time. What I found was that after 5 months of not drinking, most alcohol tasted like utter fucking garbage. It just didn't taste good. But I can't express to you guys enough. Like, there were people specifically between June and November saying that I was either using drugs or drinking. If I had done either of those things, they'd take my children, maybe forever. Guys, I was stone sober the fucking day that they said, you cannot have drugs or alcohol or you will lose your children. There's no question. You don't need a treatment program. You don't need anything. If you give a shit at all about your family, you just do it. And you do it fast. And you do it without complaining. You do it without arguing. You just do it. That's life. That's how living works. And I don't understand where people came up with this concept that like I was somehow beating the system. You will not beat the system. Like, you might fool a test or two. I guess I've heard of it. Anybody who tries to, first of all, trying to fool a test. If you watch Blue Mountain State, the only way I could foresee doing it is the oil change, which I don't think is actually biologically possible. But that's where you somehow force clean urine, you through a catheter up into your body and then pee that clean urine out. I don't think that actually works, but that's it. Because they look at your penis while you are peeing. So you can't use like a prosthetic. There's not a way. I saw on the show Shameless, William H. Macy held clean urine in his mouth and spit it down into the cup while he was peeing. But at our testing facility, there's just one toilet. There are mirrors everywhere, and there's a guy looking at your dick. There's not anything to cheat. You can't do it. And if you're relying on some sort of herbal cleansing tea or some bullshit to get shit out of your system before you pee test, there are weeks where I was tested 5 days out of 7. You just can't rely on any of that stuff. So you just don't drink. And like I said, after 5 months of drinking, I was off restrictions. One of the first things that I did, I was so excited because I went and grabbed, I had bottles of Kentucky Owl, my favorite whiskey prior to this, waiting. That they were waiting, I'd had them, and then I had to, they were held for me because I couldn't even have them at my house again, like now. And so I went and grabbed one, and I was like, finally, I can have a drink. It tasted like trash. Tasted like mildew, kind of specifically. Rye whiskeys, after 5 months of not drinking, taste like mildew to me. I don't like them anymore at all. I want to. Those bottles were like meaningful to me. I wanted to like them, but I just didn't. They weren't good. But this notion that I was somehow like cheating the system, you can't cheat it consistently. It's not going to happen. So you just have to be sober. It's not that big of a deal. But people were constantly saying, "Oh, you're drunk again." It's like, dude, no, I'm not. Again, while on no restrictions, did I have a drink here and there? Sure. But it lost everything for me. It's also associated with a bunch of stuff that has personal meaning that's changed. And so maybe it was psychological. I don't know. But it's gone. And especially now, like same thing. If I do it now, it goes to, I go to prison. So not really interested in it. But yeah, if he's sober, it's like, dude, yes. Especially at this time, which is after my sentencing, required by law to be sober. I went after court and I had to go do a urinalysis too. So it's like your first day, they want you to check it out. So there you go. But if he's sober, yes, have to be. There's no choice left.
I'm still
well,
of the
I don't-
position. Looking at the order that
Oh,
everyone's
28
posting on
days. Sorry,
text.
because you got two.
MLS,
2 days between friends.
MLS is the first guy to
He might
actually
be
like
able to get a
read.
deferral on that
Yeah.
if he completes probation because he's not supposed to appear until August 1st. So they're
Right.
giving him time to jump through a bunch of hoops, and then the sentencing, the jail time might be deferred, at least according to the order.
Well, maybe rehab. I mean, I'm just saying, if there is an issue, maybe he can go to rehab, and that can help him with. all of
Is it his first offense? This is his first criminal
Yeah.
offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he
would
needs
have-
jail
I think
time.
he would
Yeah,
have-
I don't think jail time.
I said
I
that
think
would
he may
have
have already
jail time,
gone
but
to
it would be
rehab.
suspended
I think that got him
pursuant to
this deal.
Nate changed his opinion there. It's amazing because like Nate's like, wow, and he got jail time, and then no, I don't think jail time. Like, it's which one is it? Like, do you have an opinion on it? Take a moment, think about what you're saying, and then actually do analysis. And that's been a consistent feature of the of talk about my case from this community is the analysis was just gone from it due to people's personal feelings. And it was so silly to watch people. Look, guys, I kicked my own credibility's ass. Why would you sacrifice yours? But hey, I don't know. Whatever the reasons, very simple. But yeah, Pisco says he doesn't think he'd get jail time. Which again, I will not serve any jail time unless I violate probation, which I will not. But again, you don't have a choice at some point because you have to live. All this stuff is really fun when there's not quote unquote no consequences. It gets unfun really fucking fast when the government comes to help.
Successful conclusion of a bunch of hoops and probation. And that's what it looks like, but I don't understand Minnesota orders. Mine in Michigan would say specifically that. This one says possible deferral pursuant to probation. So who knows?
I haven't seen it, but I still think even putting 30 days on him.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't even. Sean's mic is terrible. His head movement. I don't even want, like, I actually feel bad being an asshole, and in solidarity with Sean, I got a special tool that he would use, but his head. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just cannot stop laughing at how he looks in the frame. It's doubly funny, and I hope he did this on purpose. But like, I always thought it was weird but hilarious how he sat in his chair because he's so low in the frame. But this is like his phone in his car. He doesn't have to have it this way. And he is still, it's like gravity will not let him come up the frame. It's like, God damn it. Sean, what are you doing? How can you not figure this out? You look like a piece of furniture gains sentience. Jesus. But in solidarity with Sean, we got a sandwich.
I still think that's a bit much.
That's
I
a
don't
bit
think that was
much.
necessary.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah,
much.
I don't think it was necessary at all. But
Get
I'm
better
not
soon,
judging.
Nick.
5 years probation is a lot of probation, man.
Yeah.
Well, we said
That's
2 or
a
3.
Yeah.
We said 2 or 3, and he got 5. I was like, ooh.
Well, and
5 years probation is a lot. The presumptive prison sentence for a first-time offender for my crime is 21 months. Probation period of 18 to 24 months is the logical outcome. But here's the thing. This isn't a free market, baby. There's no competition. The probation office conducts a PSI, and they just say what they need the recommendation to be. If you read my PSI, which you can't, it's confidential. But if you read my PSI, there's no supporting a statement to suggest that jail time or a 5-year probation makes any logical sense. But there's no legal argument against it because it is entirely within the judge's discretion to dole it out. In fact, The judge could have, if he wanted to, given me a jail sentence of up to 364 days, not deferred. He could have done that. There would be no effective legal argument against it, because you know what 364 days is less than? 21 months. It's less than 21 months. So the judge doling that out is a better alternative than what you would otherwise get. And in my case, the prosecutor really, I got to give credit to the prosecutor. I've worked with this prosecutor before. We had kind of a rocky start in the family case because there's a bunch of crazy bullshit at the beginning of the family case. By the end of the family case, the prosecutor had started to see, my theory is effectively, people involved in that case were the equivalent of true crime fans. And they got wrapped up in the salaciousness and drama of the story that they really wanted answers to. In fact, one of the guardian ad litem in the case was withholding my children because she said this to me directly. She just wanted to know the story of how cocaine got in the house. I was waiting on immunity to tell her because I didn't care in particular, but I couldn't tell her how cocaine got in the house until I had immunity from that statement being used against me in my criminal case. What people probably don't know this, because my family case was sealed before I think this document came out. But one of the most difficult parts of that was early on, we asked for something called use immunity. Use immunity allows you to make statements in a family case very specifically and not have those statements be entered into the criminal case. Now, the reason is because in Minnesota in specific, family cases have a timeline. The state has 12 months to make a permanency decision on the child. And then they can get an extension of like 6 months. And maybe another extension. But generally speaking, they have 12 months. So everything has to get started. So what they want is candor between the parents and the court. However, you have Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination in your criminal case. So there's a conflict there. So use immunity is this thing where they say, okay, whatever you say in this case cannot be used in your criminal case. We negotiated and eventually got use immunity because we wanted to cooperate. We wanted our children back as fast as possible. Our county didn't want to give us use immunity at first. It took a little while and a little doing, but we eventually got it. Once we got it, any drug tests that we took, any statements that we made to anyone at CPS or in relation to the CPS case were not able to be used against us in a criminal case. We were finally able to talk. We wanted to the whole time, because we wanted our children back. But having your children back and then going to prison doesn't really help you, you know. It's kind of antithetical to hold those two positions. So you have to protect that. But I forgot where I even started this part from, because talking about this case, this is one of the reasons I don't want to sit and talk about too much of the case and the story behind it in an unplanned way, is because my brain jumps from thing to thing, and there's a lot of heavy emotional stuff that pulls my attention. But by the end of all this, it seemed like the prosecutor realized that the people at the beginning got wrapped up in the story that they wanted to hear about, like they're watching it on Netflix, because everybody's Stephen Avery now. They literally believed I was a cult leader for a little while, which was funny, but not funny because it kept me away from my kids. And it was also so fucking stupid. But I want to give credit to the prosecutor. At the beginning, things were kind of rocky. But once she realized that was what was going on, that these people were wrapped up in this crime drama, things started ending real quick. And when we had negotiated out my plea agreement, she and I had specifically spoken And I said, no further jail time. Like, that's got to be a condition right out the gate. First time offender, jail doesn't make any sense. Had my ass kicked for a long time already at this point and been through hell, had my reputation business completely shattered. Had my kids taken away periodically and complied with the terms of the conditions that we were under, which are effectively the same as my probation conditions are. So it's like, I can do probation. That will work. I've been through treatment. I'd already completed treatment. All of this stuff. So no jail time has to be on there. And she agreed. For whatever reason, at my plea hearing, my lawyer didn't put it in the petition. Don't know. That's how lawyering goes. Like, sometimes something gets missed. So when we got the notice of the potential jail time, it was terrifying. But I've got to give props to the prosecutor. In court, she said, hey, that was contemplated. That was part of the agreement. We don't know why it's not in the actual paperwork, but that's the state's position. And so that was awesome for I just got to say that. I have a lot to criticize her on from the early part of the case, but by the end, she really probably just got tired of dealing with me, but she was very professional about it.
If the probation is just literally stay clean, stay healthy, it's not necessarily the worst thing out there.
Right?
No, but being that long of the government being on you like that's like probation, even when you're non-reporting, is still not like, you got to get permission to leave the state. If you run into the police, you got to tell people. Like, it's still a hassle, and
your audio is. You're not the only one who's getting
audio is awful.
I didn't want to say anything.
Sean's audio is almost always bad. I don't know what it is, but
I got court this afternoon, so
you sound like you're underwater.
Yeah.
Yep. So, pretty much.
I can't figure out the biology of that neck. Like, where is it? Where did it go? I'm not even trying to be I'm being an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to right now. I'm now marveling. Where is your neck? Where is it? I don't know where a chin is. Like, that collar is supposed to be down here. There should be skin above it. I'm so fucking confused. R2D2 Sean. Oh my goodness.
this afternoon, so
You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah.
Yep, so,
But listen, I do want to ask you guys, do you guys think this is a little bit of FAFO in terms of Nick, because he fought so much, he pissed off the judge, he pissed off everybody there, and then eventually it's like, you know what, F them, let's give them the 30 days, because they did
literally no. And this is the retarded speculation that's been going on this entire time, that I am somehow like disrespectful or causing some sort of trouble. They can't point to a single filing. They can't point to any sort of statement or indication from either side that has this. But they're just, because I make jokes online and because they're really mad I didn't pay them for Rittenhouse. How'd your channels go after Rittenhouse, guys? But because I make jokes online, they think that one, that I don't know how to act in a professional setting, or that I didn't take this seriously. I took it seriously from the start. Some of the people on this panel gave me really fucking bad legal advice, Nate being one of them. Like, these people are nonsensical. And Nate was allegedly a prosecutor for something like 10 years. He was a private defense attorney for a while. And his advice to me was absolute garbage. It was also impossible. But he didn't care about the actual advice. I'm certainly glad I didn't listen to him. But he offered to negotiate my plea agreement a week after my arrest. while the government had my kids, while this is going on, he's like, no, you got to get this criminal case knocked out. It's like, it's not going to happen, brother. Like, first of all, we're in central Minnesota. There are like 5 prosecutors in this county. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. You can't make them come up with a plea deal on something. Plus, he's trying to negotiate a plea deal before you have discovery, before you have any sort of indication. Again, he would have been pleading on the 26 grams. The 19 grams wouldn't have been found out for another like several months. It's unreal. But to hear this concept that I'm like somehow frustrating and hard to handle for the judges. I don't care if a judge yells at me, because like sometimes judges yell at you as a lawyer, but none of that happened in this case. None of that happened in the family case either. People reading text transcripts and then adding their own intonation and inflection into what's said, like, doesn't make it so. I don't even think Nate knows anything about it. Like, oh, you just think Nick's hard to deal with here. You know, the judge just like, oh, fuck around, find out. No, no, the judge didn't do that at all. That wasn't part of it. This is the 30 days thing was a surprise. But the crazy thing is the 30 days thing wasn't a surprise for the sentencing judge or the PSI investigator. In fact, I believe from my discussions with the PSI investigator that the 30 days is less than he was going to recommend. But hey, Nick did cocaine. And this is Nate. I had a discussion with him on Twitter, and it was so disappointing because Nate employed like just a nonsensical logical fallacy, which was he just kept saying anything he disagreed with was cokehead logic. It's like, well, no, Nate, it's just logic, and you may disagree, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I had done cocaine prior to that discussion. And by prior, I mean significantly prior. That was while I was on restrictions and all that stuff. So it's like, Nate's been a huge disappointment in this, mainly because his reasoning skills are apparent, and they should have their children taken away.
They didn't usually. Now, as a prosecutor, usually you give your recommendation, the defense, and the judge kind of like, all right, we'll give something in the middle or something. Usually, it's in New York, it's very defendant.
You mean when they taunt judges, it might piss them off?
But it seems like this judge was like, give him the 30, whatever the prosecutor.
Again, this is all based on the misunderstanding that the judge actually was having me serve the 30 days, which he was not. I also never taunted this judge, ever. In fact, when I got this judge, I was happy about it because I've worked with the judge before. Well, both when the judge was a prosecutor, and I've had him as a judge in other cases. And as I said, I found him to be a guy who is a little bit like, he's a little bit robotic, which has its benefits, because my case was going to be, at the beginning was a very technical case. And I had hope that we could put together a strong technical argument. My lawyers did not put together a strong technical argument. And so that failed. But taunt the judge? I never taunted this judge, ever. In fact, again, I liked this judge and was happy to have it. So it's nonsense that is just being spewed out by these guys, which is a little bit, again, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It is frustrating to see friends talk like this.
You don't want, we want to. So I think it was a little.
But don't you guys miss him? Don't you miss your old buddy Nick? I mean,
I do.
Let's get back to the debate.
To be healthy.
Yeah.
No. The world misses Nick Rekieta.
There you go.
I love Joe.
Nick used to be in the intro on this.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you do the old Stalin? Did you stall him out of the intro?
No. Okay. You know what? I want to address that.
You did. You stalled him.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me address that.
Trotsky. Who?
Nice.
There was no Leon.
All right. Joe was the other half of the intro.
That's why.
They were both drunk out of their mind, making a comment about me, and I thought that
It was
with
funny.
Nick's case and everything else, maybe
Fair
it
enough.
wasn't the best representation of having a very obviously drunk Nick as part of the intro,
He loved
reminding
that.
every
He
week.
loved that
I
intro.
just thought that was
You just
That's actually a really nice. I don't think that was necessary at all. I have plenty of evidence of a very drunk Nick all over my channel that I'm responsible for. But that's a really nice thing, and that's the type of dude Eric's always been. Eric's always been super nice.
just beat every single lawyer on the argument there.
No,
So,
no,
I
he
mean,
did. Well, look, while his case was pending, fine. But now that it's resolved, I don't know. I think it's play the clip right now. Just play it. You have it there.
Play it.
We don't do this. Eric.
What are you, very drunk Nick Rekieta? What are you talking about? I am sober as a judge, as it were, in this video.
Hunley has the whole monopoly. I don't know who that son of a bitch thinks he is, that he's got this whole monopoly on getting panels of lawyers together. But we should be doing.
I believe at this point I had not done cocaine ever in my life. I believe so. This is a while back that this took place. So I just want to point that out because of the mouth thing. There was me just being goofy, drunk, I believe. I do not think, like, if I had been on cocaine at this point, I'd tell you right now. Like, I don't care. I'll go back through any show and you can ask, and I'll just tell you. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all resolved. But that I just want to point out. I think this was before I'd done any.
Doing that on our streams, like way more. Like I
did this way before him. I had the big brain panel before Eric Hunley even existed.
Who even are you, Eric?
See, I loved that. I loved it. It's just like,
yeah, but why don't you re-record it, Joe? You guys can re-record it, all right? This time you can do crack.
Yeah, get up on it, Joe.
Anyway, I just didn't think that was necessarily the best representation,
especially when he's going through
everybody
court
involved.
And they're saying he's looking high on screen, and you got him looking high on screen. So yeah.
No, I was drunk. I wasn't high.
Oh, Joe.
So that was that clip. Look at that. Again, what the fuck? I don't want play ever. What is wrong with you? Stupid YouTube. It was when I found out that the PSI recommended 30 days, it was devastating. It was some of the worst days of all of this because again, to me, the sentencing had been resolved in January. Right. Like it was pro forma. We were just waiting. We knew that community service was a possibility, I guess. I hadn't really thought about it. And then the other aspect was the the duration of the probation. We thought that was about all that was out there to discuss. Have that 30 days come in was absolutely shocking and devastating. It was not actually supposed to get out at all because PSIs and their recommendations are confidential. My lawyer filed a sentencing memorandum, which was not supposed to be filed publicly because of it citing heavily to the confidential PSI. Somehow, some way, it got filed publicly by the court. Par for the course in how this county has treated my case, which is with no regard to the actual law regarding documents. They have overtly violated the law several times. And that's just how it goes. And so in this case, they accepted it as a public document when it was filed confidentially. And so then it came out and everybody kind of gave their opinion. On Thursday, finally got indication from the prosecutor that they did not intend to pursue the jail time, which was a huge relief. But I didn't say anything because I liked watching the reactions of people. And when they were wrong on Friday, it was poetic in its own way. It was kind of funny because it's like, you're so excited and you're just fucking wrong. Like, Embarrassingly so. There's no reason for you to be wrong. But hey, you were. Okay. So that's, it was interesting watching. And then of course, once they started getting text messages after the hearing where everybody's like, you got 30 days of jail, like you're going to jail. It's like, oh shit, no one's actually reading this. But yeah, that's how it goes.